Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Federico Talks Watches. Today, I wanted to talk about the 5 best cities / countries in the world where you should go watch luxury watch shopping if you have the opportunity. There's numerous financial benefits and collector's benefits to all of these places, and I figured it'd make an interesting topic. But of course, before we get started, customary wristwatch check. Today I'm wearing the H. Moser Endeavor Big Date. Love this watch. And also, guys, don't forget to check out delraywatch.com. Bunch of new watches in stock. We got in a Tudor Pepsi bezel GMT, a Rolex Explorer 1 39mm, as well as other goodies. By the way, the Longines Master Retrograde, super cool watch as well. All on delraywatch.com, link in the description below. And also, thanks to everybody for watching my last video about me selling my Rolex Pepsi. I actually just placed an order for my new watch, and you guys will never believe what it is. That'll be coming soon. But yeah, let's get right into it, and this is in no particular order. The first one, pretty obvious, Hong Kong. Now, Hong Kong is a complete package for a watch shopper. If you want to buy it in AD, just head on to Nathan Road. You got everything from Patek Philippe to Rolex to even small brands have boutiques. Ulysse Nardin, Gerard Perregaux. And Hong Kong is a tax-free zone. If you want to go pre-owned, Hong Kong is also home to one of the top 3 populations of pre-owned watch dealers. They even have the biggest wholesale watch dealer show on earth, which maybe you won't be able to access if you're not a dealer, but a lot of dealers are located in Hong Kong. Fantastic selection of pre-owned watches. Macau is not bad either, just down the road. Now, the unfortunate political turmoil in Hong Kong also means you can get some better prices, but generally, prices were always a little bit lower than the US, which is why a lot of pre-owned dealers import stock from Hong Kong. However, now with the political situation, it is even a little bit lower than it used to be. Second, and the city that I call home, New York, New York. What can I say? Might be biased. I'm from there. I love it. However, home to some of the best watch shops on earth. Wempe. I used to work there. Loved it to death. Fantastic selection and the best service anywhere out there. Cellini, an authorized dealer that carries all the strange high-end brands like De Bethune, Journe, Voutilainen. You can't go wrong. Tourneau Time Machine also used to work there. Carries everything from $100 Casios to $100,000 Vacherons. Then you have Boutique, the Lange Boutiques, Roger Dubuis Boutique, the Cartier Mansion on 5th Avenue. I also used to work there. One of the most historic watch shops on earth. Truly, the one city where you can try on almost anything you want. And if you want pre-owned, a lot of pre-owned dealers as well. You have 47th Street. You have the Jewelry Arcades in Chinatown. Now, yes, you should know what you're doing before you venture into that, but it's all available in New York. And that is pretty hard to say. Not to mention shopping in the US for watches is generally pretty favorable. Now, I wouldn't expect you to get discounts on boutiques on 5th Avenue, but price-wise, especially the pre-owned market, New York has the best selection, and the U.S. generally has one of the best prices along with Hong Kong. Next, we go to Tokyo, a place I love as a watch dealer. A huge selection of Omegas. Japan has a phenomena. It's how the watch dealers describe their watches. Even things described in poor condition are a notch above their description in the US, meaning the Japanese always tell you that things are worse than they actually are, which is always a pleasant surprise. Also, Japanese culture, they like vintage watches, but they generally don't love pre-owned things, or so I've heard, or so it was explained to me by a Japanese dealer, which is why prices, particularly for the entry-level luxury stuff, Tudor, Tudor and Omega, are the lowest I've seen anywhere in the world, even lower than Hong Kong. Now, while Tokyo might be in a very expensive place to visit, to go watch shopping, the amount of vintage watch stores, the prices, and this strange cultural thing of under describing your watches to be better than they better than they actually are is a very big positive for anybody that wants to watch shop in Tokyo, particularly pre-owned. Now we move to Europe, particularly any country in pigs: Portugal, Italy, Greece, and Spain, and particularly in pre-owned watches. Now, I'm Italian, as many may know. These countries have suffered economically pretty heavily, some more than others. And the authorized dealers, if you know anything about the business, and I've made videos about this before, whether they sell or not, they're forced to fulfill minimum orders. So a lot of dealers there are selling watches almost at cost, 30, 35% off. And not to mention, if you're a foreigner and you come back to the States, you can get VAT back. That is tax for all you Americans. You can claim it back at the airport. So with the big dealer discounts, the VAT back at the airport, even though it might take 90 days depending on the amount, generally you can get some kick-ass prices in Mediterranean Europe. And, don't be scared to negotiate when you're in these countries. Now, last is one I recently found out, and that is Mexico City and Mexico in general. Not particularly for prices. I've actually found them to be a little bit higher than usual, at least compared to this list. However, their dealers seem to have a lot of sports models in stock, particularly of the Rolex variety. Now, yes, this may be a little anecdotal, but I have been seeing a lot of sports Rolexes coming out of Mexico and Mexico City in particular. So even though the prices aren't great, you may be able to snag that Pepsi GMT or Batman a little bit easier in Mexico than you would stateside. Now, guys, there's a ton of other places I have not traveled to or I have no knowledge about. This is based on my opinion, and I think if you're traveling to any of these cities, you could do really well. Now, honorable mentions to Dubai and Abu Dhabi in the UAE. Let's see, where else? Canada has some great watch boutiques. London, even though not so sure about pricing, London is particularly expensive. And, of course, Singapore, but once again, taxes very high, but home to one of the most beautiful watch shopping networks you can see. Anyway, guys, I hope you found it useful and enjoyable. Please give it a thumbs up if you have, and don't forget to like and subscribe. It really does help. Guys, thank you so much, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.